is it, the White Labs video. This was supposed to be for the San Diego trip, the first part of 2 videos of all the breweries we went to. White Labs was going to be closed with it. It didn't happen. The video was going to be like 25 minutes. So I was like, it should be its own video. It should have been its own video from the beginning anyway. So yes, Sarah and I went to White Labs on our San Diego trip. It was great. Some fun things happened. And let's go to it right now. Let's just show the experience right now. This is it. The holy grail of tasting rooms for beer brewers worldwide. We are at White Labs. They have a tasting room. They beer brew it. They from what I've heard,
they beer brew.
They beer brew with. They brew the beer with the yeast, and they brew with the beer with the yeast. But they take the yeast, and what they'll do, is I've heard, is they'll take the same style of beer and then do a bunch of yeast sampling with the same style, so you can really see what the yeast does with that same beer. I do not know what to expect going in. This could be difficult to navigate, and I hope to choose correctly, and I hope to learn something. And I don't know if they sell the yeast here. We're gonna all find this all out right now.
It all out.
So let's head in.
Tell everybody I agree. I'm gonna 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 tell to be your woman.
So we have Czech Pilsner 802, and then this one here is the 830. They have 2 new experimental strains for a pale ale, DTJ, this one, and then MLY is the most forward one. Geeking Out, they have a questionnaire for the new strains. I'm gonna go to town on that puppy. So let's taste the Pilsners first.
All right. Do you want to start off with the German or the Czech?
The Czech. The Czechs are generally supposed to be sweeter, a little less dry, I guess you could say. But the only variance is the strain of yeast.
Everything else is
exactly the same. They split batch it.
It smells a little sweeter.
That is a extremely noticeable difference to me. This is more grainy in the smell.
The nose is totally different.
It's more grainy. Like the grain is shining for the Czech.
I prefer the German. The German taste is different too. It's drier.
It's the same recipe though, I don't know.
No, but taste it. It's got more of a bite.
The German's more, you just put lotion on right before we did this. She literally just put lotion on.
My hands were so dry. It's cold out.
Okay, hold on. I need your lotion smell to go away for a second. This is the Czech. This is the German. It's a tough difference.
I can tell right off
Okay,
the nose.
this is what we're going to do for fun. Mix them up.
All right.
So this is the Czech. That's the German. Okay, here we go. That's a German. It is subtle.
Try it on me. Ooh, it is harder when you go totally
It's way
blind.
harder. Your lotion is destroying this. I know you're having a hard time too.
I am smelling the lotion now. Let me put my hands behind my back. Czech German?
Yeah. Because I get like a little more grain, a little more like...
But it even tastes more grainy.
Yeah, it tastes more
like
grainy
a
too.
little bit.
Like more bready.
Yeah.
And this is more clean,
like
pure,
crisp tart.
tart. Okay, so DTJ, whatever yeast DTJ is for a pale ale. That is a classic West Coast pale ale, by the way. I can tell the difference. So what are you getting? What difference is?
I don't know. This
That's
one is
tough.
I think that this I might be
TJ?
making this up. Is like a little more like earthy and mushroomy, and this is a little bit more like fruit.
Oh, when we're back outside. Just like that, we're right back outside. Just when you were least expecting it. Why we're back outside is because I want to tell you what happened next. It happened abruptly. It happened fast. While we were recording, we were doing our tasting. The bartender came up and was like, "Hey, you want to go on a tour?" And we're like, "Yeah." So I just grabbed the camera and went through the back. So let's do it. Let's see what the inside of the White Labs looks like, or part of it at least.
So this is B1. This is the main building that we started here.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have time for the lab and all that stuff, but
No
I'm going to
worries.
show you how we make the beers possible. The cold side, we got 16 5-barrel fermenters. We used to, in 2019, we decided to scale back. We used to do 20 batches of a wort. So think of the Plato's as a variation of 4 instead of 2.
Wow.
We decided in 2019 to go all tubes. Let's see what we can do. And that opens up our menu board for 14 to 16 comparisons. So, but this is how we make it all happen. So we moved in this building about 7 years ago.
Okay.
And then a year later, the tap room and brew house came along.
Okay.
First, we were rocking a 2-barrel system back here. Not even back here. We just brewed in the parking lot.
That's awesome.
And then about 4 years ago, we took the leap and added the 20-barrel system here.
Okay.
We have a team of 5 guys.
Okay.
So when think of it, we have our head brewer, a lead, and then a couple assistants, and a cellarman. He's a very complicated subject, and it scares the heck out of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then we just take that fear and run with it. Right?
Yeah.
We have no problem.
It's sort of like a hunter's mentality. You're just like, oh, it's a bunch of experiments.
Let's just fucking do it. But the thing is, your experiments. Oh shit! It sucked. I lost $60.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah shit!
I lost a lot of
You
money.
lost-
I'm going batches, so it's even very...
Oh yeah, it's not even less of an investment.
Yeah.
But the same thing, it's still the emotional ties there.
Totally.
It doesn't matter the volume. You're like, fuck, there went my Saturday. Like,
yeah.
and I had to clean so much
Yeah,
crap,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it didn't work. You're
Yeah.
like, but oh well.
Yeah.
It's all for the fun. Whatever we can do to possibly improve those procedures, like the pale ales you're trying right now.
Yeah.
That is a procedural change.
Okay.
Something between those 2 beers, and the process changed.
Okay.
And then we've now allowed our guests to kind of take part in that. So I collect all that data. I think I'm up to like 350 surveys now.
Really? Okay.
And just keep compiling it. North Carolina's doing it as well. They're in the same survey program.
Okay.
So we're just having fun.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for showing us.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
that.
No problem.
So how cool was that? It was so rad to see that. It disrupted what we were doing at the moment right here, but we know what was what. We're going to fill out the questionnaire and probably get 1 more tasting or 2. Yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah. So one of those is obviously hazier than the other. This is an IPA. One's an East Coast strain, and one's a West Coast strain, as we're calling them. WP008 and WP001. I did a bunch of hazy experiments on this channel, a bunch. Trying to get haze, trying to clear it out. I've always heard that polyphenols interacting with yeast really create the haze. Yeast is obviously a very big factor in that. Because this is the exact same beer, the exact same process, the exact same dry hopping technique. I asked them to when they added dry hops, and look at the hazy difference. Absolutely, completely, incredibly different. That's really fascinating to me and kind of mind-blowing, because I really thought I could create haze if I just dry hop during fermentation heavily with polyphenols, threw a bunch of oats and wheat in there and stuff. But man, you might be able to do a regular hazy IPA straight up with just the yeast strain. Another brewer told me recently he had certain hops, and those particular hops, when combined, created haze. Just the hops. That's the only thing you changed. So much studies are going on in this, and it's still very fascinating. It's still sort of relatively new, at least in my eyes. I'm probably out there a little bit. But I want Sarah to blind me on this. I'm going to close my eyes and see if I can tell the taste difference. Not appearance, but taste. So let's mix it up.
His eyes are closed.
Eyes are
I'm
closed.
just gonna put it into your hand.
Okay.
There you go. Alright, so you have that one.
Okay.
You ready for the
Tastes
next?
grainy. But I could be wrong. The first one's the hazy.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. The difference in taste is drastic.
All from
Drastic.
just from the yeast change, not from what, like you said, when they're dry
Yeah.
hopping, when they're doing it.
Yeah, I geeked out when I went up there and I was like, do you dry hop the same? Do you dry hop everything else? And like, yes, they dry hop. They dry hop at the exact same time during fermentation, at the end of fermentation, it doesn't matter. The dry hopping process was exactly the same. WP001, WP008. There you go. I'm gonna buy some 008 and see what I can do with it. Oh, by the way, we also got this saison that is barrel aged and old and great. They only have like 6 barrels to age stuff in. It's also
Yeah.
11%. It's fantastic. Just great.
Chardonnay barrels.
Yeah. All right, you know what? That's it. We've hit the peak. This is a great close to this day. I'm calling it here. That's it. That is the end of the video. We did it. We saw White Labs. It was great. I really want to go back and try a bunch more beer. My mind was really open with all the different yeast strains on and like how much it could actually impart into the beer just at the same exact recipes. I've been exploring this kind of stuff for a while. If anything, it makes me want to explore more, which I already do anyway. So I'll just keep exploring, basically, is what I'm saying. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos, and see you next time for likely more experiments.